Hey Bald Ones, I'm Lucy, and this is Pussy Powered. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a simple practice and exercising release that you can do at this full moon eclipse. The full moon is known to be a great time to release what is no longer working for you. Stories, beliefs, habits that are no longer serving you and where you are going in your life next. And lunar eclipses can be particularly intense. Spiritually and energetically speaking, a lunar eclipse represents a resetting of your emotions, clearing away the emotional baggage of the previous 6 months. And I would venture to say that we have all experienced some emotional baggage and shit in the past 6 months. So use this lunar eclipse energy to release. This particular full moon eclipse may bring to the surface some deeper insecurities, addictive behaviors and patterns, and general misunderstandings. So if things feel a little bit chaotic and out of sorts right now, you are not alone. And hey, you don't have to wait until the night of the full moon eclipse to do this exercise. Follow your heart, your gut, your intuition on when you personally feel led to do this exercise. And by the way, for a full guided releasing ritual, check out this video. And feel free to add the exercise that I'm sharing with you in this video to your releasing ritual. Today's releasing exercise is simply this. Go outside on a little treasure hunt and find a rock that has a smooth-ish side. This one's pretty smooth. It's pretty darn smooth. You want something that is flat enough to write on. Next, what you're gonna do is identify what it is that you're ready to release. Maybe there's a lot of lingering energy or stagnant energy around a particular heartbreak or a difficult situation that has happened in the last 6 months. Or maybe a habit or an unhealthy behavior that you have picked up along the way, especially during quarantine time. Or maybe it's a belief that you have about yourself or your life or a particular relationship. What you're gonna do is take a marker and write that on your rock, or at least something that represents it. Especially if it's a long thing and you can't quite write out the whole thing on your rock. Instead, you may want to choose a few key words that represent what it is that you're releasing and write that on your rock. Next, go to the place where you're going to release your rock. This may be at the ocean, this may be at a park, in the forest, maybe even in your own backyard. Although I will say there is something extremely satisfying about being able to chuck that rock out to some place that it will never return back to you. So if you can do that, I highly recommend it. Just like do it safely. Nowhere where people are walking by or animals. Just don't hurt anybody. Okay, so once you're at your spot, wherever you're gonna release your rock, hold your rock in your palms. Connect with your rock. Send loving energy into this rock. And after you've done that, imagine the energy of whatever that belief is, that emotional weight, that unhealthy habit that you have picked up along the way. Imagine the energy of that transferring from your body into your rock, releasing the weight of that, the burden of that into this rock, this element of earth. This may take you a minute, it may take you 10 minutes. Be sure that you are present with whatever is emerging, whatever emotions are coming up. Let that energy flow from you into your rock. So however long it takes is how long it takes. Don't rush this process. For me, when I do this exercise, I tend to get really emotional. I feel a lot of things bubbling to the surface, and there is something incredibly cleansing about crying as you are feeling the energy transfer from your body into your rock. It is beautifully healing to just let the emotions wash over you. Don't resist it, don't fight it, don't try to overthink it or get in your logical mind about why am I crying, why am I feeling this way. Just let it flow. And if you're again like at the ocean or in a wide open space in nature, throw your rock as hard as you can and say goodbye to it for good. And if you are doing this in your own backyard or somewhere around home, have a proper little burial for your rock, thanking that belief that you're releasing or that habit or that heaviness of emotions, thanking it for how it has served you and how it has brought you to where you are today. And when you bury it, say your piece, say your final words, and say goodbye. Then when you are done with the exercise, don't just rush off to the next thing that you've got to do. Be present with those emotions. Feel the release. feel the lightness. And at this point, I encourage you to journal about whatever came up, because you will not remember this as vividly as when it first happens. And these are the kinds of experiences that when we look back at what we wrote down, months later or even years later, is so powerful to remember how that felt in that moment and how far you have come, how much more you have grown, how much more you have healed. So give yourself that time, that space to really receive your gift. All right, wild ones, that's it for today. A simple releasing practice for this full moon eclipse. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more on sexual empowerment and healing for women. And while you're here, be sure to get your free guides from me, including a downloadable version of the guided releasing ritual, plus so much more at the link in my description. In the meantime, here's to your awakening and your healing for a pussy-powered life.